Hey, and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I'm your host, Markle. It's going to take us days, if not weeks, to unpack the madness of Meghan's holiday special, especially in a busy week with a state visit and Kate's Christmas concert, as well as starting tomorrow afternoon, we'll be bringing you the top 25 royal moments of 2025. But let's begin to pick away at it. The Independent called it not fun, enjoyable, or even aspirational, giving it 1 star. They write, "Did you know that you're supposed to wrap Christmas lights around your tree twice? Once further in and then again on the outside. I suppose I didn't, but it makes logical sense. I've never thought to make my own Christmas plates or considered writing little love notes to my family and refillable felt advent calendars either, but Meghan Markle has mused on many aspects of Christmas for her predictably insipid festive special. Sadly, this most Markle-y of Netflix content tests the limit of my holiday cheer. Before any guests arrive for her Christmas party, she preps by writing 'tis the seasoning in chalk on her kitchen chalkboard and smushes some chocolate biscuits and sugar together in a sloppy bowl to make reindeer chow. When she brings in her first visitor, the New York restaurateur Will Guidara, the energy shifts. Is this sexual tension between them, or just the feeling of Netflix having to put a gun to its head? Markle tells him how Christmas crackers are a big deal in the UK Christmases. No way, he smiles. Back solo, Markle tackles wrapping Christmas gifts. One technique that's really fun is just a different way in which you're folding the paper, she says in her hypnotic tone. Layering the folds of paper outwardly instead of inwardly, so the finished product looks like a braid that you can tuck in a little Christmas tree branch or candy cane or something. Or a bow right here could be really darling. Wait, that's actually really nice. Okay, now she shows you how to wrap a bottle of wine beautifully with a silk scarf, Japanese style. The wrapping section has its merits. The standard went with, I think Meghan Markle's team were trolling her with this insane holiday special. They write, absolutely do not try any of these crafts or recipes at home unless you also want to have a nervous breakdown. Netflix has really hit its stride with this special episode of With Love Meghan. They're really leaning into the frantic energy of its star, trying to crack puns without splashing hot oil or butter down her pristine cashmere sweaters. Honestly, the production team must be trolling Meghan here with increasingly bizarre and elaborate setups for her to impact hosting hacks. In fact, are they really hacks? They would make anyone else actually hosting Christmas for a big group have a nervous breakdown before the canopies were served. Don't feel like you have to do it all. Just embrace the special touches that bring you joy, Meghan trills before embarking on a series of increasingly insane scenarios. The key to being a good host in Meghan's world is have your production team research the guests they booked and give you a flavor profile of what they enjoy eating. The Daily Mail's Annabelle Fenwick Elliott issued the bluntest verdict, awarding the program 0 stars out of 5. She wrote, "It's the syrupy hypocrisy and our hostess's deep lack of self-awareness that continue to make her and this show so unlikable. If only she could lean into her waspish type A personality, poke a little fun at herself even. She could just about be endearing, in a Monica from Friends sort of way." In the Times, columnist Hilary Rose labeled the special unfathomable, suggesting the production amounts to 4 pointless crafts, 3 random friends, 2 unseen kids, 1 English prince, and a duchess in a pear tree, or at least making pear syrup. She described guests who queue up to say implausible things, running the gamut from moronic to trite, and then emote joy, adding that portions of the dialogue left her feeling as though the English language had been fed through Google Translate and found wanting. More Palace in just a moment. The Telegraph's Anna Singh called the special quite mad and a little bit sad. 1 star out of 5. Anita writes, "You'll be reaching for the Christmas spirits. Make mine a double within the first 5 minutes," as Meghan talks us through the basics. Once a year, you get to do the tree thing. Advent calendars are about having a surprise every day for 24 days until you get to Christmas. 'Tis the season to wrap gifts. You don't say. This is reminiscent of the advice given by Pippa Middleton in Celebrate, that seminal work of non-fiction produced by the Princess of Wales' sister, which recommended serving turkey on Christmas Day and going stargazing at nighttime because that's when it's dark. Meghan's tips are imparted in an easy-breezy manner as she waxes lyrical about family traditions and spending the holiday with loved ones, determinedly ignoring the elephants in the room. Christmas trees are able to really encapsulate your family story, she says. You really feel the passage of time and the different chapters of your life through the ornaments. But I'm not sure how going non-contact with your father, moving 5,000 miles away from Britain because your husband hates his entire family, and then giving a bombshell interview accusing your in-laws of being racists, can be conveyed in baubles. Perhaps an angel tree-topper in the shape of Oprah Winfrey. Wearing a Cartier tank watch and a humdinger of a diamond, Meghan busies around the kitchen, laughing merrily at her own jokes. This feels like fondue. You've never heard anyone say fondant. Wary of being seen as Marie Antoinette, she mentions no fewer than 4 times that she's going to do her own tidying up. Guy the Beagle pads around at her feet. Hang on, didn't he die in January? It's a Christmas miracle. 2 of Meghan's friends come over for a pajama party, which I did not realize was a thing past the age of 12. This is the most insufferable section. Osaka is press-ganged into decorating a plate for her daughter, and when she mentions in a moment of honesty that she has no time to relax at home because she has a young child to run after, Meghan says, but that's the good kind of non-relaxation, right? The stuff that is so soul-filling and amazing. Yeah, murmurs Osaka, her soul visibly draining from her body. Meghan makes one allusion to her former life when she recalls pulling crackers while living in the UK. Other than that, there is no mention of Christmas at Sandringham or Hotel Granny, as Harry referred to it in his memoir. At least dear old Harry makes an appearance. He turns up 5 minutes from the end, let out of the pantry where he has been locked since the end of Series 1. The Daily Star's recap starts with a healthy chuckle. Prince Harry's first speaking part on Meghan Markle's show is used to slag off a salad. Harry joins Meghan in the kitchen as she prepares the Christmas Eve gumbo traditionally made by her mother, Doria Ragland. This time, Meghan opts for a spicy andouille sausage rather than the turkey sausage Doria usually sets aside for Harry, telling viewers with a smile that he's going to sweat. Harry's reaction is immediate. Wonderful, he replies with a grimace, before admitting that the spice level made him feel it puncturing through the top of my head. Meghan looks genuinely taken aback when he offers his final verdict. I'm not so sure it's as good as your mum's, but it's certainly close. Meghan notes that the accompanying salad includes the top things my husband hates to eat, listing fennel, black olives, pickled vegetables, and beetroot, as they say in England. Harry approaches the dish cautiously. Oh, wow, that's like the anti-salad, he says, later remarking, there are not many things in the world that I don't like, and they're all in that one bowl. But perhaps we've spent all much time following Meghan's career that we can't be objective. In Vogue, Daisy Jones is a newcomer to the Duchess's adventures and writes, I'm going to admit something. I don't know anything about Meghan Markle or her Netflix show. I've managed to avoid any chatter about With Love Meghan, but maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I ought to open my mind and heart to With Love Meghan, which may not be aimed towards audiences like me. After finishing With Love Meghan holiday celebration, I'm left with a few takeaways. On the one hand, I can see why the show was critically panned. Sometimes people are given a platform because of who they are, rather than what they can bring, and With Love Meghan gives me the same feeling as when I am around very wealthy people who think that making a salad with friends makes them grounded and relatable. On the other, there's something soothing, enjoyable even about the show's glossy inaneness. Not everything has to be cerebral or even enlightening. Sometimes it's enough to be comforting. And if we can't watch comforting, temperate, nothing but in a good way TV at Christmas, then when can we? And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, the app of your choice, and leave us a nice review if you're enjoying the show. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.